welcome to my channel once again. And if today is your first time, consider subscribing, and also don't forget to share the channel. Alright, so if you are interested in data analytics and programming, then this channel is the right channel for you. Without wasting my time, let's go straight into the classroom. Okay, so welcome to the classroom. And in today's tutorial, we're going to talk about Power BI. Okay, so Power BI is a business intelligence tool that allows you to effectively report insights through easy to use customizable visualizations and dashboard. And Power BI is a Microsoft product which is basically used for visualization. So why do we use Power BI, or why Power BI? Okay, so Power BI is easy to use and it requires no coding knowledge. It also integrates seamlessly with any other data source, and it's also fast and can handle a lot of data. Right, so when you open Power BI for the first time, I will leave a link in the video below that will let you be able to download Power BI. So this version is a desktop version, and there is also an online version where you can use online, but this one is a desktop version which I've downloaded onto my computer. So when you open Power BI for the first time, this is what you see. So in this window, you can directly get your data from here, or you can open recent sources or open other reports, but then we will not use this window, so I'll close it. Okay, so let me talk briefly about the interface of Power BI. So if you are familiar with Excel, you see that most of the tools here can also be seen in Excel. So this section of Power BI is the ribbon, which has the various tabs. We have the File tab, the Home tab, Insert tab, Modeling tab, and under each tab there are a set of tools that can be used. Okay, and at the top here you see a save icon, the title of your project, and you can also search for items here. Then if you are signing, you see your signing details here. Okay, so as I said, each tab has its own set of tools that you can use. Okay, right, then when you come to the report area of Power BI, on the left hand side you see the report view. So currently, okay, so you see a report view here. When you click on the report view, it will show a dashboard which contains the report that you are making. Then we also have the data view, which will show you your data. When you load data into Power BI, you see it at the data view. Then we also have the model view, where you can create relationships between two or more data. We'll talk about that in the course of this video. Okay, so on the right hand side too, there are three panes. We have the filters pane, where you can filter your records. Then we have the visualizations pane, where you can choose different types of visualization. Then we also have the data pane, where your data is loaded. Okay, so in Power BI, you can load data from different sources, and this is if you want to import data from Excel, you click on this Excel icon and you can load data from Excel. Then also, if you want to load data from an SQL server, you click on this icon to be able to load data from SQL server. Then you can also paste data directly by clicking on this paste data into a blank table icon. Then you can also use a sample data in Power BI. Right. So apart from these 4 ways of loading data into Power BI, you can also load data from other sources. So when you click on get data from another source, a list of all the sources that you can pull data from will be opened. Okay, so this menu or this box shows all the various sources that you can load data from. So you can load data from text or CSV file, XML file, JSON. You can load from a folder, PDF. All these are some of the areas that you can load data from. Okay, so once you click on it, you can scroll down to see the various sources that you can load data from into Power BI. So Power BI is a very powerful tool which can allow you to load data from many sources. Okay. Also, when you come to the Home tab in the ribbon section, you can either click on Get Data from here, and this will also load common data sources that you can connect data from, or you can load data from into Power BI. Okay. So this is a brief description of Power BI, and we'll talk about some of these icons as we move forward. So now let's load data into Power BI. Okay, so I'll click on import data from Excel. Now look for my data. Okay, I'll load this sales report data. You just double click on it and it will load into Power BI. Right, so when your data is loaded, it doesn't load directly into Power BI. So you will see a navigator box, and this is the data that we tried to load. So when I click on the checkbox, I will see a preview of the data here, and you see these 3 icons: load, transform data, and cancel. So as I said, when you load data from Excel, it doesn't load automatically into Power BI, but then it loads to an interface for you to make a selection. So now this load, when I click on this load, it will load the data into Power BI directly. Or if I want to transform the data or do some cleaning on the data, I will choose transform data, or I will cancel. So we are not going to load the data directly into Power BI. Let's click on transform data. And when you click on transform data, the data is loaded into PowerQuery. So PowerQuery is also a tool that you can use to transform or clean your data before finally loading it into PowerQuery for your report or analysis. And we'll do a video on PowerQuery. Okay, so now the data is loaded into PowerQuery, and PowerQuery also has a similar outlook like Excel. You can see your ribbon here, then the various tabs which has different tools under them. Okay, so now that our data is loaded here, we can manipulate it, or we can do some changes on it. So on the left side, you see the sales data loaded here. Then in the middle pane, you see the records that is in the data. And on the right hand side, there is this properties and applied steps. Right, so let me talk briefly about the applied steps. So the applied steps keeps track of all the changes that you do. So you see, when I loaded the data, PowerQuery automatically changed the data types and also promoted the headers. If I want to go back to the previous state, I'll just click on this times icon to delete it. So you see that when I click on it, it deletes and moves back to the previous state of the data before PowerQuery automatically applied certain changes to it. So you see that the title or the field names of the data has been pushed into the main fields. Yes, so now we can transform this, even though Power BI automatically did it for us, but we can also do it ourselves. So I'll select this row and come to transform, or I can come here, use first row as headers. So when I click on this, it will promote the first row as headers. So you see that it has now moved to headers. Let me delete it once again, and the apply steps kept record of the step that we did. So let me delete it once again, and now let me delete promoted headers. Now you see we have column 1, column 2, column 3 and so on as headers, but then we want to use this row as a header. So I will select it once again, then click on use first row as headers under the home tab. Okay, right, so now it has promoted it back to the headers row. So now we have region, country and so on as headers. Okay, and the next thing that we'll check is the data type. So this section contains strings or text. So you can see that the data type is ABCD. ABCD means text values. Okay, let me scroll to the right hand side. Okay, then here we have the date, which the data type is date. So when you see this calendar icon, it means the data type here is dates. Okay, then 1, 2, 3 also represents numbers. Right, so this data, we don't need to do much on this data. Okay, so I want to delete the total revenue and the total cost. Okay, I'll leave it for now. There wouldn't be much transformation or data cleaning here. Okay, let me see. This section has a mixture of different decimal places, but I want to make all of them 2. So I'll just select the column by clicking on the unit field. Then you can just right click and choose change data type, then select fixed decimal numbers. So add new step. Right, so now all of them has 2 decimal places. Or you can come to transform, then data type, click on the drop down arrow, then choose. So there are several ways that you can apply the tools to your records. Either you right click on the header section, or you choose under the tabs. Okay, so now, as I said, we will not do much data cleaning here, since the next thing that I want to do is we have the order priority, and it's represented by MCH, which M means medium, C critical, L low. So I want to change it into a full name. So what I will do is I will right click on the header once again, then come to replace values. So I'll click on replace values. Then this box will open asking me the value to find. So I'll find M, then I'll replace it with medium. Okay, so you see that all M's have changed to medium. I'll right click on the header once again, then choose replace values. I'll look for C and make it critical. Right click once again, replace values, then change H to high. Right click once again, change replace values, then change L to low. Okay, so now it's readable. When you see M, you know that it's medium. Then the next thing I'll do is I want to check for duplicate values. So I'll select all. So I clicked on the first header, which is region. I clicked on the first header to select all. Then I held my shift key. Then I clicked on the last header, which is total cost, to select all. I'll right click on any of the headers, then choose remove duplicates. So let's see if we have. Okay, so duplicate values have been removed from our data. So basically, this is just some few transformation or data cleaning that we will do. But when we talk about PowerQuery, we will do more data cleaning. So now we can load our data into Power BI by going to Home, then close and apply. So I'll just click on this icon, close and apply. Right, so now our data is successfully loaded into Power BI, and this is the build visuals with your data. So now this is where our report or dashboard will be built. And let me expand these panes. Okay, so we can still see the report view. So now we are the report view, then the data view. When I click on it, you see our data is loaded here. Then model view. So this is if we loaded more than one record into Power BI, you see that a relationship will be created here. We'll talk about relationships as we move on. So let's go back to report view. Okay, so let me quickly talk about some of these visuals or some of these visualization tools. Right, so the first one is the stack bar chart or the bar chart. We have two types of bar charts. We have the stacked bar chart, then clustered bar charts. So basically, bar charts are horizontal bars used for comparing specific values across categories. Example can be sales by region and so on and so forth. Right, then we have column charts. So we have the stacked column charts and also we have the clustered column charts. So column charts are vertical columns. So the difference between bar charts and column charts is that column charts are vertical whilst bar charts are horizontal. But they can be used for the same purpose. Then we have the line charts, which is used for looking at a numeric value over time. Then we have the area charts, which is based on the line chart with the difference that the area between the axis and line is filled. Then we have a scatter chart, which is used to display one set of numerical data along the horizontal axis and another set of data along the vertical axis. So in fact, there are a lot of visualization tools that we can use. We have the donut chart, the pie chart, which are circular charts that can be used to represent categories. Then we also have the map, which can be used to show maps. Then one important visualization is the card, which can be used to also display single facts or single data points. In fact, there are a lot of them. We have the slicer, which can be used to create slices. Then we have the table, which can be used to create records. So we will talk about each of them or as we use them. Okay, so now our data is loaded into Power BI, and up to this stage we've talked about what Power BI is, where the different types, how we can import data into Power BI, then also how we can transform or clean our data. We looked at some common icons. So now let's try to do some visualization. So in the data, let's see what's inside that we can draw from this data. So this data is a sales report, and the first inside that we can draw is the total sales. So as this is a single data point, we will use card to look at the total sales. So I'll just click on card, then it will be loaded onto the report view. But before that, let me create a heading for this project. So I want to insert a rectangle bar. So I'll come to insert, then under shapes I'll choose rectangle. Okay, so I want it to be here. Okay, now I want to put a title on this rectangle. So you see that when you insert a rectangle, you get a format pane here, which you can use to format the rectangle. you can write text on it, change the color, and so on and so forth. So I want to, I want to change the color to, let's say, black. Then I want to add or put text on it. So this text is off by default, so I'll just put it on, then click on the text and type text. So this will be analysis on sales report. Okay, once you type the title, you can increase the font size here. So I'll make it, let's say, 36, then bold. You can also change the font type here. Okay, so I'll choose New Romance, right? Then the color too is white on black. I think is cool. All right, then the position too is at the center. So this is okay. We will not waste much time here. So now let's go back to our card. You just click on the card to activate it. We want the total sales. So I'll just choose total revenue. Total revenue is the same as the total sales. Right, so let me just click on it. And once I click on it, it loads the total sales. So the total sales is 1.3 billion. All right. You can drag to adjust it. Okay, so I want to change the color of the text by coming to format your visual. Click on this, then call out value. Okay, so I'll make it bold, then change the color to green. So you can also use colors to tell stories. So in this tutorial, I'll make all the higher values green. Okay, it's already, I've made it bold already. All right. Okay. Then the label is sum of total revenue. I'll put it off and apply my own label or title. So I'll come to general, then title. Okay, so this is the total sales or total revenue. Change the heading to heading 2, make it bold, then put it at the center. Okay. And I'll change the font size to 16. Right. Okay, so this is what we have now. The next thing that I want to do is to look for the average sales, the minimum sales, and the maximum sales. So I'll just make a copy of the first card. Just right click on it, copy visual, then Ctrl V on Windows to paste it. Right. So I'll just come here under visualization fields. You see that sum of total is already loaded here. Click on the drop down arrow and choose average sales. Okay, so it will change to the average sales. Ctrl V again, no, Ctrl copy, then Ctrl V to make a duplicate. Okay, but before that, let me change the title to average sales by selecting the average sales. Come to format your visual, general, then title, make it average revenue or average sales. Any of them goes. All right, so the next thing is we want to find the maximum. No, let me change the color to move. So we go back to visuals, call out value, then change to move. Okay, so click back on total revenue. As I said, we want the maximum revenue or maximum sales. So I'll choose maximum here. Okay, then change the title to maximum revenue or maximum sales. All right, let me also change the color to blue. Okay, I'll copy this, Control V to paste it. Then this will be our minimum sales. So I'll change the title to minimum sales. And here and under the fields, I'll change it to minimum. Okay, and I'll make the color, the call out value, red. So red represents minimum values. Okay, so basically this is what we will have for the various cards. We can apply more editing to it, but since this is just an introduction training, I don't want us to waste much time editing our cards. We can do that in subsequent videos. So let me just leave it as it is. Okay, so what insight again can we draw from the sales reports? Okay, so let's look at sales channel. I can see sales channel here. So let's use a donut or a pie chart. Let me use donut chart. But look, let's take a quick look at something. When this card is selected and I click on any of these visualization tools, it will replace the existing one. So if you want to insert a new visualization tool, you have to click on an empty space. Then you click on the visualization. Right, so we want to use a donut chart to look at the sales channel. Okay. So when in a donut chart, you need the legend, then the values. So I will choose sales total revenue as the value. So we have two sales channels, online and offline. So there's a visualization on how our sales performed based on the different channels, right? We can edit the donut chart. First of all, let's change the title. Let's make it total revenue by channel, by sales channel. Okay, it's okay. Change to 2. This is just editing, so you can edit it anyhow that you like. I'll make the title 16. Right. Then I'll go back to visuals, slicer, slices. The maximum value is offline, so I'll make it green. Then I'll make the minimum value red. Okay. Then the legend, I want to push it to the top. It's now at center right, but I want to put it top center. Okay. Then I want to put the title of, this is the title of the legend, not the main title. Okay. Then the text, I want to increase it to 12. 12 is okay. Make it bold. Then dark black. All right. Okay. Okay, then the values of the values to, I want to make it 12 or 16. 16 is too big. So 14 is okay. Dark black, bold. Okay. Then display. Can come to label. So label, now we have the value and percentage. I want to use percentage of total, right? So you can either use the values or both, or just percentage of total. So I'll use percentage. Then also the position, you can put it inside or you can leave it outside. I think inside is cool. Let me change the value to white and see. Okay, so this is cool, right? So now we have, no, let me put it back outside. I think outside looks better. Now change the color back to black. Yeah, that is better. Okay, so the next thing that we can look at is we have sales by region and country. So let's look at the top 5 regions that our sales did well. So we will use a column chart or a bar chart for that. Let me use this stack bar chart. Okay. So when you select a stacked bar chart, you have the y-axis and the x-axis. So I'll choose region as the y-axis and total revenue as the x-axis. So this is what we have now. This will give you all the regions, but we want only the top 5 sales by region. So what I'll do is, under filters, you go to region, then you drop down, and filter type you change to top N. So top N means top number. So we want the best 5 regions that we had the best sales there. So I will just type 5 here. Then by value, so by value is the sales value. So I'll drag total sales to by value, then apply the filter. So this will filter by only the top 5 regions, that top 5 regions. Okay, so quickly let me just apply some editing to the stacked column chart. Okay, so first of all, I want to change the colors of the bars. So by default is blue, but I want to apply individual colors to it. So you see, show all is off, so I'll just put it on to show the various bars. So I'll change the first one to green, then the second one to mauve. I'll leave the third one as it is, then the fourth one to this color, then the last one to red. As I said, you can use colors to also tell a story. Come to all right, so now I want to the values. I want to change the font size of the x-axis to 14, make them bold, then dark black. Okay, y-axis to dark black 14, then bold. Okay, let me expand this a little. Okay, then I'll put off the titles. Right, then let me go to general and make the main title total revenue by top 5 regions. Okay, change to H2, make it bold, then dark black, position it at the center, font size to 16. Right, so I think this is cool. Then the last visualization that I want us to look at is sales and date. Okay, so I will use line chart for that. Date and total sales. Let me expand it. Okay, so this is a plot against the total sales and the year. All right. So let me apply editing to it. So the title is Total Revenue by Year. It's okay. I make it bold. 16, dark black, and in the middle. And I'll change the line color to green. I'll get rid of the default titles. Then I also get rid of the title of the x-axis. Let me make the value 12, bold, dark black for the x-axis. Then on the y-axis too, I'll do the same, 12, bold, dark black. Okay. So basically, this is just an introduction to some visualizations or report that we can do with Power BI. So the next thing that I want us to do is to export our report into PDF. So to do that, you come to File, then Export to PDF. So this will export the report to PDF. Right. So now our report has been exported to PDF successfully. Then finally, let's also save the Power BI file. Sales reports. Right. There is also a way to publish your work once you are done. So when you come under Home tab, you see Publish here. When you click on it, do you want to save changes? Yes, save. Then Publish. So here you provide an email, a Microsoft email, or an email that you use to create a Power BI account to publish your work. But currently, I've not created any account for Power BI, so I cannot publish this work. So basically, when you publish it, it will just be loaded onto powerbi.com for other people to also have access to it. Right, so thank you for sticking with me throughout this tutorial. And if you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to the channel and also share this video for others to also view it, and hope to see you in the next lecture. Bye.